Gen Z fans, what's going on? It is week 8. We are officially halfway through the football season. Well, now that it's 18 weeks, we're just under halfway. But some teams have played half their games, or they will be after this week. And it's gone pretty fast, man. 2 months of football. I can't believe it's already came and gone.
It's okay. We got NBA starting tonight, so.
It started last night, but your team starts tonight.
Playoff run, here we come.
What's your prediction on the season?
For Orlando, I think we get the 3rd seed.
Okay.
In the East. And then we get to the 2nd round and we lose to the Celtics.
So you guys get your first round win.
Yeah.
Your first playoff series win.
Since 2009.
I like it. So, you heard it here first from the biggest Magic fan in probably the world.
It's going to go Celtics, Knicks, Sixers, Magic, and Bucks. That'll be your top 4.
Okay.
Or your top 5 right there.
Okay.
So, and the Cavs will finish 5th.
Well, did the Sixers play last night?
They played tonight, but Joel Embiid and Paul George are out for the whole week.
Why?
They don't want to play back-to-backs for one. The second reason is they're not recovered, or they have some type of injuries with their knees. They both have bad knees, so.
Okay. Well, my Sixers are starting the season off strong.
And they play the Bucks tonight at home without Joel Embiid and Paul George. So we'll see what happens.
We're starting 0-1. Pretty excited. Is Giannis playing?
Yeah.
Okay. because he finished the season last year.
He is playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Seb will take us off with his bold takes.
This isn't really a bold take for 1 p.m. There wasn't really. I could have picked the Patriots again, but screw that because I'm just so done with that team. Texans over the Colts. Texans have only won 4 out of the last 10 games in the last 10 games versus the Colts. Texans are coming off a horrible passing performance, and I mean horrible. Tank Dell 0 points. C.J. Stroud 5 points in fantasy
and they almost
football.
Won the game.
Yeah, I know. Horrible passing performance. Texans showed their hand a little too much with the run game last week. They just ran the ball the entire game. They could not stop Joe Mixon at all. I was watching it, sweating bro.
Well, the Packers' run defense is trash.
Yeah, I know, but bro, you just pass the ball, catch a ball, Tank. What do you even Stephon Diggs sucked. That whole Texas offense, except for Joe Mixon, just sucked. Really sucked. Cost me the game in fantasy. And just everything. But anyways, Texans showed their hand a little too much, overusing Joe Mixon in their offense. So that's going to scheme up the game plan for the Colts to stop the run, make them pass the ball because of how horribly they've passed it the last 2 weeks. I think this will open up their pass game, get some shots downfield where the Colts are ranked 23rd versus the pass. I think we see Stroud masterclass game this game.
That is bold because you said they've won 4 out of 10 games, so under 50%. That also means they're going to sweep the season series against their division rival because they won week 1.
Yeah.
So that is pretty bold.
4 p.m. Raiders will beat the Chiefs.
So that is also bold.
This is very bold because I'll tell you what, Chiefs have absolutely owned the Raiders the last 10 games.
Except for on Christmas Day.
I was just about to say, but last Christmas Day the Chiefs lost at home.
I watched that game with you. That shit hurt.
Yeah, I know. The Raiders team knows how to beat them based off of last year's Christmas Day game. The Raiders need this win more, I think, for many reasons. 1, to stay in the hunt for the playoffs, but 2, for Max Crosby. Max Crosby came out last week and said he's not here to rebuild. He's here to win. They need to win to keep their star defensive end. He's a defensive end, right? Yeah. The star defensive end in their team. Keep people coming to their games because honestly, they really don't have anybody else but Max Crosby.
Yeah.
I guess you could say Alexander Madison, but I mean that's who's going to pay a ticket.
No star power.
That's no star power. So the Raiders need this win more. Chiefs will get caught sleeping, and they're going to get smacked in the face. Brock Bowers is the leading tight end in receptions. He's breaking records left and right. Chiefs are 32nd versus the tight end. If they could use Brock Bowers effectively, they're going to win this game just with him alone. I see Brock having another killer game as he has all year, and the Raiders picking up a much-needed win for 3 different reasons.
And the Chiefs lose their first game.
They lose their first game. They're due for a loss.
The last time they lost a game was against this team on Christmas.
Yes.
Because they lost this game. then won the Super Bowl, and then haven't lost a game this season.
Wow.
So since the Super Bowl, their last loss has been the Raiders, and now you're saying their first loss will be against Raiders.
It's scripted pretty well, and really
that is pretty crazy.
The Raiders need this win more than the Chiefs do. The Chiefs are pretty much,
I'd be pretty shocked.
AFC Championship bound already. And they just acquired DeAndre Hopkins.
He is going to go nuts.
Yeah, there goes your Juju Smith
I know.
payment.
I already know. I put $6 on Keon Coleman, and James got him for $7. So that hurts.
That's karma from last year, where you made Cohen tell you how much to put on Brock Purdy.
I know, absolutely. And I put $1 more. I didn't make him. He told me, he's like, I'm going to get Brock Purdy this week. It's like $10. He's like, I'm going to get a quarterback for $10. So I put 11. And I got Dalton Kincaid and George Pickens for Brock Purdy 2 days later in a trade. All right. So, my bold predictions. You said those weren't too bold. I thought they were actually pretty bold. You got
the Texans one
sweeping.
Is not, well, that's not really bold because the Texans are a playoff team while the Colts are really not. And they're like mid-pack.
People had high hopes for the Colts. They loved AR-15. I'm like,
AR's a bust.
Already saying that 10 games into his career. So, my bold take.
2 seasons.
I have 2 anytime touchdowns. Calvin Ridley will score his 2nd touchdown of the season.
You have too much open for Calvin Ridley.
Pray to God. And for you fantasy players out there, he will have his 2nd 20-point fantasy game this season. He plays the Lions at 1 p.m. on Sunday. They have allowed 4 pass touchdowns this year, and 3 of them have gone to alpha wide receivers. Cooper Kupp, Chris Godwin, and last game to Justin Jefferson. So out of their 4 touchdowns they've allowed in the air, 3 of them have been to big dog receivers. We all know Calvin Ridley is the big dog receiver. Also, they allow the 6th most passing yards per game, so they are a pass funnel when it comes to defense. And they are ranked 31st against wide receivers in fantasy as they allow 24 points per game. So there's only one other defense that allows more points per game to the receiver position other than the Detroit Lions. Ridley has 8 and 9 targets in the last 2 games, so they are trying to get him the ball. He was visibly upset, not after last game, but the game before that in week 6, that he needs to get the ball more, and I think they are trying to get him the ball more. And I feel better about this if Mason Rudolph's the quarterback than Will Levis, because Will Levis has showed me enough, and Mason Rudolph is actually a pretty decent quarterback. They jumped out on the Bills last week, so he wasn't looking bad, but that's my prediction. Calvin Ridley, anytime touchdown. Then, my second prediction. Kenneth Walker, anytime touchdown against the Bills. He has scored 6 touchdowns since coming back from injury in week 4. That's 6 touchdowns in 4 games. Scored in back-to-back games. Scored in his last back-to-back games. Twice last week. 1 time through the air and 1 time on the ground. The Bills have allowed a total of 6 touchdowns in 7 games to running backs this season. 3 on the ground and 3 in the air. Henry also got 169 yards against this defense in prime time on Sunday night. We all saw it. Kenneth Walker has been a vocal point since he's gotten hurt for this offense. I think the Bills are going to try to score a lot, and the Seahawks know that. So they're going to try to give Ken Walker the ball and keep the ball out of Josh Allen's hands. Ken Walker has been their go-to guy on the goal line and in the red zone, and the Bills have allowed, like I said, 6 touchdowns to running backs in 7 games. I don't see why Ken Walker doesn't get another touchdown this season or in this game. So Calvin Ridley, Kenneth Walker, anytime touchdown, take it.
Okay, you're putting your too much chips on Calvin Ridley, I think, but I understand he's your flex, so you gotta.
Yeah, I'm speaking into existence.
Yeah, that's what I do every single week with a lot of things. So
I did speak into existence that I will beat this man in fantasy football, as I beat him in our oldest league we have been in together for the 4th year in a row. I forgot to mention that, but thank you for that. So it feels good to be on top of the Gen Z Bowl.
It helps when you have a player scoring 0. You have one of your star players on a bye. Your other star player,
Travis Etienne.
I So I didn't have Swift, Olave, Tank Dell scored 0, CJ Stroud,
Those
my
were in a
quarterback.
different league. I beat him twice, by the way.
No.
That was
I'm
pretty
talking
well.
about in money pot. Swift and Chris Olave
So you have
were out.
Olave in both leagues.
No, I have Olave in money pot.
I thought you did in Christian's league.
No. In that league, I have a whole bunch of injuries. It's not even funny. But
I beat him 144 to 143.
yeah, because Chris Godwin broke his ankle in half. He was going to score that drive. Everybody knows that the ball was going to Chris Godwin. Everybody knows. And you know what? 1 point shy of that. But I had a lot of star power down against you. I hope I see you in the playoffs.
I hope you do too.
Because I need to get there. I ain't going to make the playoffs, but it's whatever. Sunday Night Football, Cowboys versus 49ers. In the last 10 games, they've been 5-5. The Cowboys won 5, the 49ers won 5. It's been even, but the 49ers have beat them when it matters the most in the playoffs.
2 years in a row,
Since we
right?
know the Cowboys can't perform in the playoffs, they might not even get there live this year. Now, the Cowboys offense is underperforming. The 49ers defense is still trying to get back healthy. Cowboys defense is also trying to get back healthy. So this game is like kind of a trash can game. The 49ers lost Brandon Ayuk for the season. For my fantasy people, Ricky Parcell, I already picked him up. I was ahead of the game. I woke up at 6 a.m. to do that. Debo may not play. He has pneumonia, and he's in the hospital. This game will be about nutrition, and it's going to be about who could stay the healthiest and who could, who's going to have more pieces, available for this game. That'll be a deciding factor for me. Well, the 49ers. Well, also the other deciding factor is the 49ers run game. The fact that it is a home game for the 49ers gives me the 49ers to win this 25-16, a low-scoring game. So running the ball for them and who they're going to have available to make the plays on defense and on offense because they have injuries on both sides, and it's kind of sad. Like, they got 6 players out on defense, 8 players out on offense.
Jeez, dude, that's
it's terrible.
That's 14 starters.
It's 14 starters
out of 21 or 22.
So someone's got to step up.
Yeah,
Who's it going to be?
See.
Ricky Parasol starting on my flex.
The Cowgirls. And that Seb's not playing me this week. With his Ricky Parcell flex.
Oh, he's going to go off. He's going to come out to, what's that one? 50 cents? Many men. And he's going to have a bomb game.
So what's your prediction?
I already said
25-18?
25-16.
25-16.
49ers.
Oh, so you got to win them pretty comfortably.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's going to be like last week where it happened to the Chiefs, where the last drive they go for 2 and they don't convert. I think the Cowboys will score and they're going to go for 2 and not convert, and then they'll just take 3 knees and it's over.
I gotcha. All right, so we're talking about some Sunday Night Football. Seb just gave you his rundown. Mine is that both teams are coming off a loss, and both teams are 500 or under. Cowboys are sitting at 3-3, so they're 500, and the 49ers are 3-4, so they're under 500, which is pretty crazy. If you told me going into Week 8 that both these teams be 500 or less, I'd be pretty shocked. So, the 2 matchups in this game heavily favor the Niners. It is that the coaching matchup, because Kyle Shanahan is far more superior than Mike McCarthy. So, yes, the Cowboys are not as injured as the 49ers, but the coach, Kyle Shanahan, is going to have to step up, and I think he will step up because he does perform against the Cowboys. Like Seb said, he's 5-5, but he's knocked them out of the playoffs twice in a row the past 2 years. Also, the 49ers rush offense versus the Cowboys rush defense. Let me give you some stats. The Cowboys have allowed the 3rd highest success rate on rushes this season, the 2nd most rush touchdowns, and the 6th most rushing yards per game. While the 49ers have 7th highest rushing yard total per game with 149.9, so they pretty much average 150 yards per game on the ground, and they average 4.9 yards per carry, which is 8th in the NFL, with running back Jordan Mason, who is 2nd in the league in total rushing yards. Dallas has won the division game against the Giants. The Niners have lost 2 division games. So I think, with that being said, the Niners need this game more than the Cowboys, and the Niners have more battle-tested players. Nick Bosa's still playing. Brock Purdy's still playing. Jordan Mason has been in these big games with Christian McCaffrey and has backed him up. Now it's his time to shine. George Kittle is still playing. I still think that these players can make an impact. This coach can make an impact. And the 49ers are going to win this game. And they're at home. They're in Santa Clara.
If it was in Dallas, I don't know who would I be picking. But Santa Clara, I think 49ers should handle business.
And the Niners are 5.5-point favorite. Home field's usually worth 3 points. So they're really like a 2.5-point favorite. So I have the Niners winning this game 24-23.
I know we said last week they would win against the Chiefs.
I know. We both agreed on a freaking prediction, and it got wrong. We are not allowed to agree anymore.
Dak Prescott is not Patrick Mahomes, though, so there's nothing to worry about.
You see him run that boy over? Boom! It's like, welcome to the league, rookie. It was pretty dirty.
He still sucks.
He sucks? How does he suck? Pat Mahomes?
Oh, no. Oh, I thought you were talking about Dak Prescott. No.
No.
Yes.
Pat Mahomes ran that dude flat over.
Yeah, and did you see the picture where Pat Mahomes got like a beer belly and this dude is just completely shredded? And they put that, and then they put the picture of him getting run over. It's like, oh, that dude is going to come.
Daddy strength, little boy.
Oh, that dude's going to come for blood against the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah. Dak Prescott. Keep your head on your shoulders.
It's going to suck. See you guys on Monday night.
Peace.